everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Brie, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a tour of my desk, which as you can see is right here in my room. I've kind of wanted to do a desk tour for some time, but I've been nervous because obviously I don't have a script, so I'm just going to talk as I go along. And as always, if I don't sound right, it's because I get very nervous when talking in front of a camera. I'm not used to the sound of my voice, but I'm really trying my best to be a bit more confident with talking, and I hope this video goes well. So without further ado, I will now begin the tour. I'm more or less going to start by talking about my clock as well as my artistic pieces here. And then I think I'm going to kind of work my way around. So I'll probably just go left to right as I'm talking about what I have on my desk, if that makes sense. And I do apologise for background noise. The dryer is probably going to be in the background because I did some laundry today, as I'm obviously not at work, therefore I have time to do laundry because my basket overflowed and it was kind of bothering me. So let's begin. So to start off, this is a floor clock that I have here. So it is about 2:52 or 2:53 in my home country, and normally at this time I would actually be sitting on the desk at work after having my lunch break. So I would probably be doing room bookings or taking phone calls or something, because as you probably know, I work as a receptionist and I do a full-time job. However, in this case, I'm only working on Thursday and Friday because I booked 3 days off for this week. And I won't really get into why I booked this time off in particular, because then that's just going to go into personal things that I don't really want to discuss. So going into my paintings, this piece is a piece of killing art that one of my colleagues at my old workplace made for me. So she sells art on the side, and I'm not really sure she's working because I know she was on maternity leave, and that was well before I left my previous workplace. But basically this piece has some really cute sakura / cherry blossom patterns, and the message says "Rise like a blooming flower." And the reason I chose this message is because I like motivational messages. I suppose it helps with depression, at least for me anyway, because sometimes I have days where I do want to give up on life, and I try my best not to, even though there's that part of me that feels like I might be dying inside or something. So yeah, that pretty much sums up this really cute painting. I also have another painting here which I think was made using either oil or acrylics. So this is a Japanese style painting that I purchased last year when I attended Comic-Con back in October during the summer. And I purchased the picture frame from a furniture shop. And speaking of furniture, I do intend on changing most of my furniture because my wardrobes, shelves and TV stand are quite old. But I need to find the time to go shopping because I work 5 days a week, so I have to kind of manage my time as best as I can. So going into my actual desk, I'm going to start off with this microphone. So this is a podcast microphone that I have, and in terms of all of my equipment and things, I mostly accumulated the money from savings that I've built up after working in my previous jobs, my current job included. So that's how I've more or less afforded all of the equipment and stationery on my desk. So I mostly just save the money, and then when I'm able to purchase what I need, I just do it. But now I've really built a space which is more comfortable for me because I like to have ergonomic equipment, and it's kind of the same when I'm working as well because I do a office job obviously, so all of my equipment is also ergonomic. Although in the case of work, my workplace covers that. But going back to this is my podcast microphone, so I mostly use this when I am recording for my podcast, which, as you know, is on Spotify and YouTube, in case you don't have Spotify. And I alternate between this and a smaller microphone, so there's a cable that comes with this which I connect to either my phone or my laptop so that I can record. And that pretty much summarizes my microphone. So going into this side here, I have all of my equipment on this shelf, as well as some cute figurines because I love cute things. I actually built this shelf, I think, back in September 2023, so I purchased it from Amazon. It came in parts and I built this myself. So it's a very simplistic black shelf that pretty much has different compartments where I put all the stuff. So going on to this side, I have my weed diffuser from Kenji because I like my room to smell nice. I do use air fresheners, but I like to use floral reed diffusers as well, although I'm not sure if this is finished. I think it's close. No, wait, there's something in it, so it's not quite finished, but I have all of my incense sticks and things like that. It makes me sound like a hippie, but yeah, I just love diffusers. I really do love them. But I think this one has like a lemony smell, which I quite like, which is nice. And then I also have an A5 notebook. I use that to journal, but I'm not going to show you what's in there because obviously my journal contains personal things and I don't really want to share that. And besides that, I have this bottle which has some shells, sequins and sand. So I made this a couple of years ago, and the shells are real shells that I got from my holiday in Jamaica back in, I think it was 2018 when I finished my first year of university. So I went there with my mum and I got some shells from the beach. I do have large ones as well, but in terms of the large ones, I plan to stick those on a canvas and frame it so I can put it up in my room somewhere, because my room is in the process of being redecorated, but it's kind of a long process, so that sums it up really. But with these shells, the funny thing about this is that some of these had crabs, and I didn't know until I came back home and I found live crabs in some of the shells, because what I had to do was wrap them in some clothes in my suitcase, and luckily they didn't get searched, but there were a few live crabs and I had to, get rid of them because they were in the suitcase. And that is pretty much this section of the shelf. So up here I have my phone stand. So I use this when I'm recording gameplays on my phone because I have a lot of emulators. So if I'm recording, say, Tekken videos, I normally put my phone on the stand and then I just use my PlayStation 4 controller, and that is it. It works and it's functional, and I like things that are functional. And then I have my sprays. So I'm a very hygienic person. Not only am I organized, but I have a habit of constantly cleaning my tech. So I use sprays to clean the screens off my phone, my laptop and my watch, as well as my 3DS. And I have sanitizing wipes on a shelf in bulk because I always have a habit of sanitizing my surfaces because I hate dirt, and I also hate dirty people as well. And then I have this calendar here as well. So this calendar is a really cute one that my mum got for me a couple of years ago, I think as a birthday present. And not only does it tell you what day it is, you also have some nice messages that are kind of inspirational, I guess. So it's messages relating to mother-daughter relationships. And then on this section, I do have a space here which I use for my camera, but obviously I'm using my camera to record this. And I also have mini printers. This is my Foamimo mini printer in the colour pink, and I have some really cute chromey / My Melody stickers on here. and I don't know why I've become obsessed with stickers, but lately I've just had this obsession with Sanrio products and just like decorating some of my tech. I have some transparent and white paper for this printer, so normally I use this to print labels or stickers for journals and as of recently scrapbooks because I've been getting into scrapbooking. And then I also have my Canon Zoe mini printer in the colour white with some cute Kuromi stickers on here. I use this to print photos that I've taken either on my camera or my phone. So if I take photos on either device, there's an app that I normally use to print the photos, and I usually use the printed photos for my scrapbook because I have one that my friend bought for me as a birthday present and I never really got to use it until this year. So basically I've started physical scrapbooking, so every time I try new foods or I go to new places or I go out with friends, I like to put pictures in my scrapbook, and if I can collect physical tickets in particular, I like to sort of staple those in and just kind of preserve memories, although I do write about events that I like to go to as well in my journal. And then down here I have my cute figurines. So this Kurama Nendoroid is actually the most expensive figurine that I have. I purchased it from the Good Smile company, so this was actually imported from Japan, and I have the box as well because if I ever sell it, the box will hopefully garner some value. So as you can see, this is Kurama in his human form holding his signature rose. And there are other parts that are included with this figurine as well, which are in the box, but I haven't used those as of yet. But I do make sure I clean my figurines on a regular basis when I clean every weekend because the dirt just accumulates and I hate that. And then we have this really cute Sanrio figurine. So this is Kiki from Little Twin Stars, which is an obscure anime series. I don't exactly remember which year it came out. I think it was in the 80s or the 90s, but if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me. I got this from Comic Con, I think it was 2 years ago, and it was a blind box, so I didn't know which figurine I was gonna get. So sometimes with Sanrio figurines, you can get blind boxes where you get like these little cute surprises and things like that. And that is how I got this cute figurine. And then this is my recent purchase, which is a Kuromi motorcycle figurine that I got from Pop Mart. So there's a Pop Mart store near me and I just like the look of the figurine, so I decided to get it. And with the helmet, you can actually move the glasses up and down as well, and you can, you know, just give Kuromi a little ride around your desk. But she just sits here. And I think it's quite obvious, Kuromi is my favourite Sanrio character because most of my merchandise, like my keychains and stuff, is Kuromi themed, if that makes sense. And then I have my flamingo figurine, which I got 3 years ago when I went on a uni trip to a zoo. I also have a flamingo keychain on my house keys, which one of my friends got me as well. And then that's just my sunglasses case. So I have prescription sunglasses because I'm short-sighted. So unfortunately, I think this is right, I'm not sure, but basically I can't see for shit from long distances. So that's why I have prescription sunglasses. And then on the desk as well, I've got my phone. So I'm using my Hello Kitty case. And this is a chain that I got for my wrist. I have a Kuromi one as well, but I think I'm going to change it because the actual chain is so big and I have a skinny wrist, which doesn't really, I guess, go well, if that makes sense. And then these are my Galaxy Buds. So these are the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, and this is the case I'm using with my Hello Kitty keychains. And then over here, I also have my laptop. So this is the Samsung Galaxy ProBook 4 360, and this laptop is a laptop that comes with a stylus. So this is the S Pen And the reason I purchased this laptop was because the one that I had previously, which was an HP ProBook 440G4, that one was more than 7 years old, and there were certain applications that weren't really supported, so I sold it, and then I used my savings to purchase this last year. And I also sold my iPad because since this is a 2-in-1 laptop with tablet style functionality, there's no point in keeping an iPad, so it was better for me to just get rid of it. But I am going to probably show you how I've customized it a little bit, so maybe it'd be best if I just put my camera down or something, or just pause here. I think I'll pause here actually. Yeah. So this is the laptop when it's open. This is the keyboard, and of course, as you already know, I have customized my laptop. So these are the Sakura themed icons, and the wallpaper that I use is by a Japanese photographer who has the pseudonym, I think, 86CA86, which I believe is a hex code for pastel pink or something, I can't remember, but you can find them on Twitter or Instagram, and that's where I got the wallpaper from. As for the Sakura themed icons, those are from Etsy, and I also customized my taskbar and start menu. So there's an app I use called Start All Back, which I use to basically customize my taskbar. And then I have a custom cursor here as well, which is a cute cherry blossom theme one and a cute pink widget with the time. So this is pretty much a gist of my laptop layout, and to be honest, it took hours for me to customize my laptop like this. So I am using Windows 11 on it. I just don't like the default layout because it just looks boring, and there are certain settings that I absolutely hated, so that's why I decided to customize the laptop. But right now I have been watching Gilmore Girls on Netflix, so I'm in the middle of season 4 and I have 3 seasons to go, so yeah. But besides that, I do type documents on my laptop a lot, so I tend to update my CV on there if, say, I'm looking for new jobs. I do draw on this as well, so that's why I have the S Pen. I take notes when I'm studying because I'm studying the art therapy course, and yeah, my laptop has different purposes, so that's a summary. And if I lock it, I can show you what the home screen looks like as well. So if I just lock it, this is the home screen, which is also floor themed and pink, so simplistic in a way, but it's really cute. So for now I'm just going to put this down here. And then I'm going to show you what I have on this side. So this is where I keep most of my stationery. So I have many coloured pens. I've got mechanical pencils as well as the HB pencils. And then I've got lots of post-its and page markers, plus paper clips, staples, and Tipp-Ex. The funny thing about Tipp-Ex is in my secondary school, I was never allowed to use it, which was really stupid, but that's the gist. And then here I've got some extra bits. So I also have my zinc paper for my Canon Zoe Mini. And this is my Faux Mimo white paper. And I have some cute letter openers / knives. So I have a pack of 4 that I got from Amazon in 4 different colours. So this is a purple one, and then I've got ones in pink, turquoise and white. And then I have scissors, as well as this thing that I got from university. So you use this to straighten paper. I forgot what it's called, but it's been used, so yeah. And then I have all of my pastel highlighters, which I put in rainbow order because I just like to put it in rainbow order. And in this drawer here, I have hard drives. I have 2 hard drives because I have so many YouTube videos that I've edited and material on them. And then I've also got some USB, some extra SD cards because I tend to keep SD cards a lot. And I also have an adapter that I use sometimes for my phone, especially if I'm transferring photos and things like that. Then this is just my glasses case. I also have an ergonomic wrist rest, an ergonomic mouse, which comes with a small USB that I can plug into my laptop. And this is kind of like an armrest thing that I use when I'm typing. And just in case you can't see very well, this is a laptop stand. So it helps elevate my laptop to eye level, because I think from what I recall in terms of using display screen equipment, at least where I work, you have to have a stand that elevates your computer or laptop. But then again, I use a monitor when I'm at work. I don't use a monitor at home. I just elevate my laptop according to my eye level. So if I just lift my laptop, this is the stand, and you can adjust it to the height that is appropriate for you. And then down here, I have a footrest that I got from Amazon as well, so that I can elevate my feet when I'm working. And I have a printer here as well, but I might get a stand, I'm not really sure. But the reason the printer is down here is because I don't have anywhere else to put it in my room. So that's why it's down there. Now, I do have 2 additional drawers on my desk, but I'm not going to show you those because I have personal things in there and I don't want to show you them. And this is technically like a shelf or something if you have a keyboard, but I don't use it and it's kind of broken, so I just leave it like this. And then last but not least is my chair. So this is an ergonomic chair that I purchased from Wayfair, and I used savings to get this chair because I used to have a really crappy wooden chair and I couldn't really use it because it would hurt my back. So this chair is adjustable, so I can adjust the headrest, and I can also adjust the height with these buttons. No, wait, shit. I can adjust the height using this lever, and I can also adjust the height of the armrest with these buttons as well. It took some time to put this up, but I did it. And the chair just kind of, I guess, slides into the desk. And as for my microphone, I can also adjust this as well. There you go. So I can just, so normally when I'm not using it, I just kind of adjust it like this. So this is pretty much the gist of the desk tour. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope everything sounded right, because again, I'm really crap at talking. But this is pretty much it, and it's not really aesthetic. I don't really like having lots of things on my desk, but that's just me because I like simplicity. I'm not sure when I intend on releasing another video. I know I've had requests for things and I'm really trying to work through them, but I have to find the time because I work and I've also been dealing with personal things. But I hope you enjoy your day and just, you know, get as much rest as you can. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.